Hey everybody, it is Jim here. Last week I filmed a video with the Fender Jaguar where I showed you why I think that is such an underrated and versatile instrument by going over a lot of the controls and showing you some of the things that I personally love about those guitars. Today I am going to be showing you how I go about dialing in a Telecaster as well as just kind of free-forming things. I'm not going to edit this thing out or have any sorts of fancy production and see where it goes. But what sparked me wanting to talk about the Telecaster was an email I got, and one thing that I've tried to do since the beginning of this YouTube channel whenever I can is help out members of this community. I recently got an email from a man named Travis Cooper who has been in the live streams, and I do remember him being in from time to time, and he's actually not going through the best of times. Health-wise, everything seems to be all right, but you know, it's the holidays. We all have our stresses financially and otherwise, and he asked me if I wouldn't mind sharing his music with you all. Now, I'm not going to play his music on this video today, but what I do want to do is to encourage you to go to his website, which is traviscoopermusic.com. I'm going to leave a link to that down below. If you do like what you hear, it's country, it's soulful, it's got a little bit of Americana in it. I actually really dig it myself. Please help somebody else out, support music. Don't always just purchase gear. It's important to support those that use the gear to create things. With that being said, what better guitar for talking about some country, some Americana, and all that fun stuff to use today and to focus on then the Fender Telecaster. We got the JV up. This guitar's all stock, and dialing these in is a little bit of a balancing act if you're using traditional Telecaster single coil pickups because the bridge is easy. And one mistake that I made for years, and I kind of neglected the neck pickup because of it, was I would dial in whatever amplifier I was using so that the bridge really stood out. Now, I don't believe that's the right way of going about it, and I'm going to show you why. If we do that, right now the Tone King has the tone control. There's no treble, no mids, no bass. It's just one singular tone control. I'm going to put it at 5, so right in the middle, all right? Just play a big old G. That sounds pretty good. But if I switch it over to the neck pickup with that same setting, we'll do the same thing. It's a little bit muddy, a little bit kind of dark sounding, and that's typical of a Telecaster pickup. And what I've kind of figured out on my own here, just from trial and error, and I turn the tone knob up and I dial in the neck pickup first. So right now, we're going to put it up to 7, all right? Now, we're going to try and just show you how percussive it can be with the neck pickup set in this kind of way. Played a minor when I should have been playing a major. Regardless, big spank difference. Real quick, we'll go back to 5 and do the same thing. Do you hear how much more clarity comes through? Because we're boosting up the high end. Awesome. Happy days. Here's the second part of the equation though. If we go to the bridge pickup with those same exact settings, we're going to get an ice pick. And maybe that's the sound you want. Maybe you want that much high end coming through. You know, depending on what style of music you're playing or if you're recording for a song, what other instruments are in there, you might need it to be that bright. But for me, that's a little bit too much. But since I'm happy with the way the neck pickup sounds with the Tone King setting at just a hair over 7 on the tone, I'll just use the tone control on the guitar. I'll show you how much of a difference that can make here. So if we just do an A. All the way up. That actually kind of reminds me of Blues Traveler. Another cool thing about that is if you leave the tone dialed back a little bit and you go to the middle position here, I am actually going to see if I can remember that Blues Traveler song. Try not to play it in the same key though. I know it's in G, I believe, so we'll play it half step up from that. It's been years since I played or heard that song. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and that's what I love about playing guitar. It can really bring things back for you. But moral of the story here, if you're still with me in my ramblings, manipulate the tone control on your guitar, especially the Telecaster, because you can find a lot more usage for the neck pickup if you start there. I know conventional thinking, as I said, is going to say start with the bridge pickup. Maybe you're going to live on the bridge pickup a little bit more. You can't always add in high end from the guitar itself. Well, 99% of the guitars that I can think of, you can't do that. But with these guitars, manipulating this will do you a whole lot of good, and you might find yourself using the neck pickup a little bit more on one of these guitars if you take that advice. So I encourage you, if you have a Telecaster, try it out. See if you might agree with me. Maybe you'll disagree with me. Maybe you won't try it at all, but I think it's something worthwhile. Now, another thing that makes this really appropriate is country music. Country music is not something I really got into, and as a matter of fact, it's the reason why I never really liked Telecasters. That and a man named Bruce Springsteen. And I grew up in New York, and he's a Jersey boy, and he's supposed to like Bruce Springsteen. I don't like Bruce Springsteen. Never really did. Not talking about him as a person, just the music. It's not for me. Regardless, I always labeled these guitars as, old man guitars or country guitars, and I was never a fan. It wasn't until many years later when I was really frustrated with my JV Strat, specifically the bridge pickup. I was trying to play a whole ton of gain with it, and I just thought it sounded weak and pathetic. And a buddy of mine said, just try this. And I was like, no. I'm like, it looks stupid. It's an old man's guitar. And sure enough, it was a butterscotch with the black pickguard and the maple neck on it. So it was everything I did not want in a Telecaster, especially at the time. And I'll never forget playing the bridge pickup through a Marshall JCM 800. It wasn't like full-on gain, but it was hairy enough that it was like, ooh, this sounds amazing. And then ever since then, my stereotypes of Telecasters have changed, and they've gone to become one of my all-time favorite guitars. And I don't know, I think it's funny because it speaks volumes to how a lot of people find instruments and, make their own way with guitars unconventionally, so to speak. Like last week we were talking about the Jaguar, and I briefly talked about Nirvana, right? And a lot of people wouldn't associate those sorts of offsets, the Mustang and the Jaguar, with any of that kind of music prior to hearing Nirvana. That doesn't mean it didn't exist, but that was the band that really put them over when it came to, changing up the expectations or the capabilities, rather, that you could perceive from an offset like that. And I think it's really cool, and I feel like that's what I'm doing right now, not with this guitar, but with the Jazzmasters. And I've been on this huge Jazzmaster kick, and I don't know. I'm going to try and get back to the Telecaster here, but the point stands. Over the years, your tastes kind of change, and it leads me to something that is definitely country related. I heard a lot of country music today. We took our kid to Bass Pro Shop. I've never been to a Bass Pro Shop. Let me tell you something. That is one of the coolest places I've ever been to in my entire life as far as a retail location. The thing is like a freaking industrial factory. It's gigantic. It is 2 stories. They let us bring AC in with us, and my kid got to see Santa Claus, and I don't know. It's just like my experience I had with the Telecaster. I would have never wanted to go in there, not because I had anything against it, but because I didn't think it was for me. When I was in the store, hell, I was looking at the clothes, and I was just like, that's cool. I even looked at my wife, and I was like, I really like that flannel. She just looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? But I don't know, as we change and we get older, our tastes can alter with us, I suppose. But it really was a great day, and I don't know how many more years I have with my kid in the real young stage. They grow out of it really fast. She's 6, and she ran to Santa, and she was so excited. She gave him the biggest hug, and it was just like, once that's gone, it's gone, and I just tried to really cherish it. Had a nice family picture with me, the dog, the wife, and the kid and Santa Claus, and I meandered around the Bass Pro Shop, looked at some fish that they had inside. It's pretty cool. Some knives, some guns, all the good things. All the good things. And it just reinforces the idea that I one day would love to just live in the middle of nowhere in the country and live off the land, as they say. But I think I've done enough rambling for today. I just wanted to give you a little piece of advice, but mainly the real reason I made this video was for Travis. And yeah, if you're ever feeling down, you can always shoot me an email. I do my best to respond to everybody. It might not always be the same day, but you guys do a lot for me, and it's the least I can do when it comes to that stuff. And anything I can do, especially with promoting anything you guys are working on, I want to push that forward and push that ethic forward. Anybody who's putting the work in or has put the work in, they don't all have a YouTube channel because people like, ooh, let's demo new guitar. This guy's cool. People will listen to him. Like, it makes sense. So if I can help you out, I'm happy to do it. And please check out his website, traviscoopermusic.com. Maybe you'll like it. And if you do, I strongly urge you to consider, buying a song or two, or better yet, buying a record or two. That's going to be where we're going to end today. Free-forming it. I like this. Is there anything you'd like to see me go over in a similar format? Let me know. Maybe we'll do a Gibson next week. Yeah, we'll do a Gibson next week. But that's it. Take care of yourselves. Hope you made it through the holidays okay. Well, the first wave of it. And I hope to see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.